What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Tony Smiles here, and we are live. We are live. We are live. Hit the like button, hit the like button, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Hey, check this out. We are doing World Series baseball, game one of the World Series. The Canadians won. Oh my God! Oh my God, the Canadians won. But guess what? We got a special guest today. If you look over to the side over here, you see Professor G is in the house. He is the guru of baseball. He knows what he's talking about. People, we are live. Game one of the World Series. Let us know how it went down. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
First of all, thank you, Tony, for being a guest in your show. We've had many conversations before about baseball, but this is ultimate because I get to wear my New York Mets jersey and your New York Yankees jersey again. Thank you so much for having me in your show. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you for coming on. Hey, we don't have a dog in this fight, although it's Canadian versus the USA. You know, we got to go for the USA, but hey, we don't really have a dog in this fight because as you can see, yo, I'm Yankee down, you Mets down. Yo, what happened to our teams, bro? What happened to our teams?
First of all, if you want me to start with the Mets, I can do that.
Go ahead.
But I'm gonna hit a little bit.
With the Mets. Why did the LA Dodgers take out the Mets and they lost tonight? And they lost tonight
the,
for that. But go ahead.
the Dodgers lost tonight, 11-4 against the Blue Jays tonight, but mainly let me hit a real quick shout out to Wardy and Mets pod Connor Rogers and Joe DeMayo because I listen to those guys a lot. But first of all, I think the Mets missed the playoffs. They had a late season collapse throughout, and it culminated with that final day loss to the Marlins. That one game they had to win, right? They couldn't do it. And so that's the biggest disappointment for the fans right now. After spending billions of dollars in the offseason to have the best overall record in baseball for only one portion of the season. After May, June, those pitching inconsistencies, both starting pitching and the bullpen collapsed for the Mets, plus a little bit of injuries there on the rotation. And the downfall sometimes also was a lack of offense, especially with runners on scoring position. The defense was suspect almost all season long. The season, we just could not play good defense. And even if we didn't even get errors counted on us, it's just a misplay here and there, mental mistakes on the field. The bullpen overall was taxed all season long because the starting pitching can't go beyond 5 innings. So that already puts the bullpen taxed out. The Mets lineup was heavy, 1 through 4. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, and Nimmo had great individual seasons, but that's not enough when you have the lineup 5 through 9 not doing much at all, and that's top heavy. And the Mets just were not unable to score runs, even in the late inning, especially innings 7, 8, and 9. They just could not come back. The reason why the Mets were successful last year and they played against the Dodgers last year is because they were able to score runs in the late innings and make comebacks. This year they were unable to come back in the late innings, and that just transferred into a losing season. But that one game against the Marlins, they could have won that one game and they would have been in the playoffs. But instead, the Cincinnati Reds ended up being in the playoffs, and then they got beat by the Dodgers. And let's go to the Yankees real quick. I mean, same thing. The Yankees got eliminated by the Blue Jays. It took 4 games, so the Yankees lost 3 games to 1. The last game was a 5-2 score. But really much, it's pretty much now a drought of 16 years. It's been 16 years that the Yankees haven't won anything. And that's tough. That's tough for the Yankee fans. And I feel for them. And the fact that Toronto, so 2 tales of 2 teams, the Toronto's consistent hitting, especially in the late innings, and the Yankees' inability to execute and score runs. And also, the Yankees play really some bad defense, and the pitching overall was a disappointment in the playoffs and not executing their pitches. And the bullpen just they gave up runs. So this is the story of the Yankees all season. Um, when they scored runs early and try to hold it, they win games. But then the bullpen gives up some runs and they end up losing the game at the end. So that's kind of what the Yankees story is. Too top heavy, just like the Mets. Aaron Judge and other people, Goldschmidt and Bellinger, but not too much in the bottom of the lineup. So and the defense really wasn't all that great either. And the Yankees bullpen was a little weak, especially towards the end of the season. So that's the story tale of the two teams, man. And so we're looking towards free agency, right, Tony?
Hey, I'm telling you, this season for the Mets and the Yankees have been unbelievable. The way both teams ended their season is unbelievable. The Mets ended their season. The final game was their deciding game. Yes, you said they could have beat the Marlins, but they could have won that last game and would have been
Right.
in the World Series. But the fact that
Right.
they let it go all the way to the end and kept pushing it, knowing they were in trouble, that frustrated me with the Mets. And
Yeah.
then the
Yeah.
Yankees, on the other hand, the Yankees, on the other hand, allowed Toronto to come back, allowed Toronto to do what they did in order to get to the championship. It's like the Yankees didn't want to be there. I went to the World Series parade for the Yankees. I think it was 2009. That's how long ago it's been. So, look, I'm not getting any younger waiting for the Yankees to get back to the World Series. The Mets
Yeah.
are even worse, man. So we need to get these teams going. Cohen has said that year 5, and you know this for sure, that year 5 the Mets were gonna, and this is year 5, that the Mets were gonna become champions. They didn't
Yeah.
even come close. They didn't even make it to the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
like you said before, he should have made promises, correct?
No, that's you can't make those promises because you don't know what's going to happen from season to season. The Mets inconsistencies, injuries, and other things that it led to their downfall. We could only hope for next year. The Yankees kept Aaron Boone as their manager. The Mets kept the same manager as well, Mendoza. But the Mets fired the entire coaching staff, so they're gonna have to start from scratch. They did hire a few coaches. The Yankees, I don't know what's gonna happen there with Aaron Boone. But they said that nobody,
Don't
no,
mention
no.
Aaron Boone. Yo, let me tell you, Aaron Boone, the local media saved him. As soon as the Yankees lost, the first thing they said is, you can't blame the manager. You can't blame the manager in the front office. You can't blame the manager in the front office for this loss. You got to
Right.
blame the players. And all of a sudden they went to, oh, we got to get some players from the Mets and get Alonso. I'm like, what? What just happened? Boone is the one that's holding us back and keeping us in the deficit, in the drought. He could win 100 games in the regular season. When it comes to playoff, he's gone. He disappears. He's gone. But anyways, that said, we're here for the World Series Game 1. We got Toronto versus the Dodgers. The Toronto Blue Jays versus the LA Dodgers. This is not a U.S. versus U.S. championship. This is Canada versus America. Let me say
Yeah.
that again because people don't realize this. This is Canada versus America. They was waving the Canadian flag at the end of this game, which was 11-4. Was the end of the score, correct?
It was 11-4. 11-4 was the score. Yeah, 11-4.
What did you think about this game 1?
It showed again the tenacity and the ability for the Toronto Blue Jays to score runs. And when they score runs in bunches, it really knocks out the other team. And this I think this World Series is going to be a battle of whose bullpen is going to get hurt the most. it showed that the Blue Jays got to the Dodgers bullpen early in the game. Blake Snell was walking people. When he was successful in the National League Championship, he was not walking people as much. The walks really hurt Blake Snell. And the Dodgers bullpen also did the same thing. And then all of a sudden now you have a bases loaded, and then comes that fatal blow, grand slam, and that just put the game out of reach. So the Blue Jays' ability to get on base, whether it's a single or a walk, and then putting pressure on the Dodgers pitching staff with the counts, that just to turn out to be the demise for the Dodgers. And if it just continues in this facet to be able to get to the Dodgers pitching staff, the Blue Jays will be successful in winning this World Series. So it starts with the Dodgers starting pitching. If they can get their starting pitching to go to a little deeper in the games and be able to stop the Blue Jays attack. That's the only way the Dodgers are going to come back on this tomorrow. So, but really overall, the whole story of the game is, if you think about it, I'm looking at the statistics here. The bottom half of the Toronto's offense, I mean, from five hitters from 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, did most of the damage for this team, getting on base and putting pressure on the Dodgers. And then culminating with that home run by Addison Barger in the 6th inning, that grand slam was amazing. And then on the same inning, later on, they score a 2-run home run by Alejandro Kirk. I'm going to tell you, Alejandro Kirk has been amazing in this playoff run. People getting on base, and it's just an amazing display of Toronto home cooking, for the Dodgers. So welcome Dodgers to Toronto.
Hey, welcome the Dodgers to Toronto. But guess what? They better check their passports because they in trouble. They in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, they lost. They gave up game 1, game 2. They need to win it so they can bring it back to LA, back to America, and do something. Because we can't let Toronto take it. See, on my perspective, I know not for yours, but from my perspective, I need the defending champions to do their thing because the Canadians eliminated the New York Yankees. I got some beef with Toronto. I got some beef with Toronto. So guess what? Hey, let's break it down. Inning 1. What you think about inning 1? How that went down? Snell opened it up. We had Ohtani first at bat. Ohtani, the pitcher, also the batter, the designated batter for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, Snell started out good. I mean, George Springer's grounding out, Snyder popping out, and then Bichette did single, but then he got out of it. He did walk Alejandro Kirk in the bottom of the first. To see, that's the first walk right there. Was right there in the first inning. But he and then Dalton Varsho flied out to center, and then that created the 3 outs. But he got out scot-free from that one. Then the
bases loaded for a hot second.
Yeah, it was it's yeah, and for the pitcher, the young guy, the pitching Trey DeSavage for Toronto. Yeah, the rookie. You're talking about a guy here who was pitching in college last year, if I presume. He's pitching in college, and then he works his way up to the minor leagues, A, AA, AAA, and then the Toronto puts him. It's amazing to see a young pitcher pitching game 1. That shows his veins as ice, and then you're pitching in your hometown. Numerous people looking at you in that full capacity of Toronto Stadium there. And he pitched well in the first inning. He did well. I mean, Ohtani struck out, Mookie Betts grounds out, and then Freddie Freeman grounds out. So that's the first inning right there.
Then we got the Hernandez and Kiki Hernandez in the first inning, correct?
Yeah, well, in the first inning, you got the first inning. That's all you had there. And then the second inning, in the second inning, a little bit about the same. Teoscar Hernandez grounds out, Muncy singles, Kike Hernandez singles, and then Tommy Edmonds single on the ground there to Clement, and then that's it. And then Andy Pye just strikes out. But they did score 1 run on that single from
One
Edmund.
thing that you wanted me to capture at that time, the rookie was walking people in the second
Yeah, yeah. He lost a little bit of control there in the second inning with the walks, which he paid the price, and there was that 1 run right there, and that made it at that point that was 1-0 Dodgers already there, so he escaped a little bit when that 1 run there. Then the Toronto Blue Jays came back and did absolutely nothing. Well, you had a single by Clement in the bottom of the second. Then Miles Straw strikes out. Jimenez strikes out. Single by George Springer there. But then what happens is George Springer hits the ground ball. First baseman Freddie Freeman gets it. Ernie Clement runs to third, but Freddie Freeman throws to the pitcher, Blake Snell. Then Snell throws it back to third base to Muncy to get that third out. So Ernie Clement, instead of stopping at second, he kept going to third, and he got caught out there and made that third out. So basically, that ended that rally for Toronto there in the second inning. So a little blooper there from Clement, but yeah, no damage, right? As you can see later on. So we can go to the third inning, Tony.
Third inning, what we got here? I mean, the third inning was something else, correct?
Yeah, well, there's another run for the Dodgers there where you have Mookie Betts walking again. So here's Trey walks, the Savage walks Mookie Betts. It's never good when you walk the first hitter, right? Then he walks Freddie Freeman. That's 2 men on base, first and second. And now you have Will Smith. Yeah, and no outs. Yeah. 2 men on base, no outs, and then here comes Will Smith, who's a very good hitting catcher, and then he hits, he singles to a ground ball to right fielder Monstro. Mookie Betts scores. Now it's 2-0 Dodgers, 2-0 Dodgers, and then it ends with a ground out by Teoscar Hernandez, and then Max Muncy strikes out, and that's the end of the third inning there for the Dodgers. So that's 2-0 Dodgers in the third inning. So the bottom of the third, much the same for so Snyder leads off with a strikeout. Vladimir Guerrero gets a single. Then a ground out double play. Bichette hits into a ground out double play, so that ends that inning with a double play. So then that ends that third inning. So we go here and so the fourth inning, you get the fourth. Well, let's talk. So let's the fourth inning for the Dodgers, not much going on there. The Dodgers went out quietly. Strike. Enrique Hernandez, Kike strikes out. Tommy Edman strikes out, and then Andy Pye just flies out. So here comes the bottom of the fourth, right? Here's where things get interesting, where Alejandro Kirk singles, right? And then Dalton Varsho hits a home run. Now it's a 2-2 game, right? Now Toronto is creeping up on the Dodgers now. So this is what they do.
Brand new game, 2-2. What the rookie did with Toronto, that's already null and void.
Yeah, I mean, it really helps the Savage because now he doesn't have to worry about taking that loss, right? So it's 2-2. And then after that, it's Ernie Clement flies out, Miles Straw lines out to the left fielder, and then Andre Jimenez strikes out. And then that's the end of the fourth inning. So now we go to the fifth. Everything much the same for the Dodgers. Again, pitching substitution. Mason Fluharty replaces Trey DeSavage for the Toronto, right? And what does he do? He strikes out Shohei Ohtani. Mookie Betts singles. Then Freddie Freeman flies out. And then a pitching change again. This is Seranthony Dominguez replaces Fluharty. And then what does he do? Yes, and yeah. yeah. This is Fluharty. Well, this is for Fluharty. Well, Fluharty got replaced by Sir Anthony Dominguez,
Flew
and
Hardy
then Will Smith.
hit Freeman
Yeah,
with the ball,
well, yeah.
but
Well,
it hit the bat and they didn't walk him.
yeah. It hits the bat, and it becomes just a strike. And then he fly, and then after having that happen, then he flies out. So that becomes the second out. So instead of they
Instead of
um
first and second, it's a
yeah,
first and
it's
final.
just yeah, it's just a fly out, and so that's 2 outs for Freddie Freeman there, making that second out, and
Dominguez
then they make a
Dominguez pitching change. Dominguez comes in, correct?
yeah, and he strike, and then what's his name? Will Smith flies out, and that makes the third out. So that ends that inning.
That's innings. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the end. That's the end of that.
Good point.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now we're gonna
that's the
move
end of
on
that.
to the, what is it? The bottom of the
So, so now with the bottom of the fifth, yeah, bottom of the fifth,
bottom of the
much more the same, almost similar to the fourth inning in that there's a single by George Springer, and then a ground out double play, right? So that erases that single, and then so that's 2 outs, and then a ground out by Vladimir Guerrero that makes it 3 outs. So that's really quiet inning for the Blue Jays there on the bottom of the fifth, very quiet. So here come on top of the sixth, the Dodgers. Teoscar Hernandez gets called out on strikes. Max Muncy pops out, and then Enrique Kike Hernandez.
Well, he strikes out, but at this point, Snell is still on the mound, and I remember
Yes,
saying
so
why
now,
Snell. Why I remember saying why is Snell still on the mound?
yeah,
He's
yeah,
up to
yeah,
150.
yeah. So here's Snell here, bottom of the sixth. So it starts again. Here we go. Once again, right? When you walk hitters, expect that you may get paid, right? Bo Bichette walks, right?
Right.
So now they have a substitution pitch runner. So they have a pinch runner for Bo Bichette, and so Isaiah kind of Kalefa replaces Bichette for as a runner. Alejandro Kirk, right? That guy singles, right?
Right.
So now it's first and second. Dalton Varsho gets hit by a pitch. So now it's bases loaded, and now they replace Blake Snell with Emmett Sheehan.
That's correct.
Okay, so bases loaded, no
Bases
outs.
loaded,
Man,
no
what do
outs.
you what do you think is gonna happen now, right?
The
And
backers start cooking for the
yeah.
foreign team. The Yankees start cooking, boy.
Well, here you go,
Bases loaded, no outs, and new pitcher.
and yeah, new pitcher, Emmett Sheehan, and then what happens? Ernie Clement singles,
Okay.
right? That brings in that's 3-2 Toronto, puts
Yep.
three Toronto ahead.
That's right.
So now they do. So then Toronto um, gets a pinch hitter. So Nathan Lukes replaces Miles Straw as a pinch hitter. And what does Nathan Lukes do? He walks. So now it's a base loaded, and since Nathan,
He walks the guy.
yeah,
What is it? Is it
yeah.
4-2 at this point?
Now it's 4-2 as Nathan Luke's
Okay, extends the lead. Excuse me. Yeah.
yeah, extends the lead 4-2. And then right the next batter is Andres Jimenez, and then he singles, right? And that's 5-2.
5-2. Yeah, exactly.
5-2.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then yeah, and then so then George Springer grounds out, and it makes a force out at home plate. So there's still so it's 1 out now. 1 out, and with runners on base. So now an offensive substitution by the Blue Jays. Here's the thing: Addison Barger replaces Davis Schneider as the pinch hitter. And then the Dodgers counter with a left-hander, Anthony Banda, to replace Emmett Sheehan. Right.
Right.
The very first pitch, Addison Barger hits what? A grand slam to put this game out of commission.
Out of commission. The Grand Slam messed it all up, and all because
Well, I mean
Loaded
that,
bases.
yeah, and basically the walks that the Dodgers, the walks, and then the home run. Now it's 9-2,
9-2.
9-2, right?
No outs.
But it's not. But you know what? Here's the thing.
No outs.
It ain't
No
over.
outs.
It it ain't over. It ain't
The
over.
party keeps going.
It's just the party continues with Vladimir Guerrero. Here you go. Vlad Guerrero Jr. hits a single again.
Exactly.
I tell you what, man, this guy, Vladimir Guerrero, man, he has been hot throughout the playoffs, man. I mean, this guy has been hearing. I mean,
He only
this,
missed
this,
twice. He only got struck out twice this whole game. He
yeah,
always hit. He either hit a single or he hit it somewhere.
yeah, grounder or fly out, but for the most part, he's making contact, making contact.
Always making
Uh, so
contact. Yep.
so making contact, and now it's a fly out, and then Isaac kind of Kalefa flies out, so it's two outs. Then the little man Alejandro Kirk
Kirk.
homers,
Captain Kirk.
and so Captain
He little
Kirk
chunky
homers.
ass.
Yeah, yeah, the
He built
Mexican
like a
wonder.
burger. He built like a burger, bro.
Yeah, that dude, man, he's been clutch, man, and now it's 11-2, putting the game out of reach. Yeah, two-run homer, man, two-run homer puts the game out of reach.
From the Burger Man. Captain Kirk, right?
Yeah, I mean, he put the game out of reach. Yeah, he puts the game out of reach, and then of course, Dalton Varsho, Dalton Varsho flies out, and that ends the inning. But the damage has been done. It's 11-2 now, and so now we go to the top of the seventh. The
Pitcher's now on the mound. They changed the pitcher.
Yeah, to change the picture, you got
Yep.
yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
about to say.
Braden Fisher replaces Sir Anthony Dominguez, but they also made some defensive switches as well. Addison Berger remains in the game in right field.
Yep.
Isaac Kiner-Falefa remains in the game at second base. Nathan Lukes remains in the game in left field. So they basically, what the Toronto did was they are improving their defensive capabilities, because now they have a lead. Now it's time to put defense to stop these Dodgers, right? Because as you know, the Dodgers always find a way to come back. So and the Toronto's very aware of what's going on. So anyway, Tommy Edman walks, right? It starts lead off with Tommy Edman. Then Andy Pages is called out on strike, so that's one out. Then Shohei Ohtani, right? The surefire Hall of Famer, homers, right? Into right field, and then Tommy Edman scores as well. This is the sixth home run that Shohei Ohtani hits in the playoffs this year. That's the sixth home run. This guy, man, ever since he hit those three home runs, man, he's been hot. And so now it's 11-4, 11-4, with Toronto. Um, yeah. Hey, Tony. Some of the fans are saying that they can't hear you on the podcast.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
I think the mic is being caught up by the
Okay. All right. In the meantime, while you fix that, I'm gonna continue with the rundown of the game. Um, so it's 11-4 Dodgers now here in the seventh, and then Mookie strikes out swinging, so that makes two outs, and then Freddie Freeman flies out to right field to Addison Berger, that makes the third out, and that is the bottom of the seventh coming up now. So as we continue the game, Toronto's up, pitching substitution for the Dodgers, and Anthony Banda is replaced by Justin Robles.
All right, all right, all right. We had a little technical difficulties. We had a little technical difficulties. We'll get back on board. We got technical difficulties. Please stand by. This is a live show. This is a live show. Let's see if we can get back track.
Performance by the team. So
Bro,
hey Tony.
we got interrupted.
Yeah.
The YouTube studio kicked us out. The stream is still going, correct?
The stream is still going. I made a rundown all the way to the ninth inning. I made a quick. Yeah. Oh wow.
You got bumped off.
You got bumped off.
Yeah, we both got bumped off. We're
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
I don't know how you hear me.
Yeah, I just answered your phone call. Apparently they still could hear my voice live. I think it's still yeah. According to this thing, it's still going.
Great. Let's see if we can get you back on.
Yeah, this thing is still going. But anyway, for the fans hearing out there, if for some reason we're still alive, Toronto takes first game 11-4. Tremendous performance by Toronto by winning the game. The major culmination is that infamous sixth inning. Toronto scores all these runs, and they proved again that Toronto throughout the season they've been a team of scoring runs and bunches and able to take advantage of the other team's bullpens. So yeah, definitely Toronto continues to do what they do. So they take the first victory in Toronto, the first game, and tomorrow we expect to have much of the same. Um, so the Dodgers are coming in, playing. We're going to go and culminate a little bit about, we were mentioning a little bit about the Yankees free agents and the Mets free agents. We're going to go down a little rundown of the Mets free agency for those fans that are still out there listening about the Yankees and the Mets. So it looks like the Mets have approximately about, let's see, about 15, 16 free agents. We got a couple of players out, but right now the biggest play here is Alonso could become a free agent. He probably expected to opt out Edwin Diaz doing the same thing. He's expecting to opt out the closer for the Mets, Edwin Diaz. Sterling Marte will be a free agent. Cedric Mullins, Ryan Hensley, Jesse Winker, Gregory Soto, Tyler Rogers, Ryan Stanek, Griffin Canning, who suffered an injury, really gruesome injury there with the Achilles. He was pitching so well for the Mets in the first half. That's one of the reasons why the Mets had a great first half, because of the relief pitching and the pitching that did. Griffin Canning was a surprise. Brooks Raley and Drew Smith. In my opinion, and I know some Mets fans are going to be mad at me at this. I don't believe. I love Alonso. There's no question. I love Alonso, but I really believe the Mets need to go for some pitching and fix the bullpen. We need some dynamic hitting, and David Stearns already said that he wanted to improve the Mets' overall defense. If you're going to have Pete Alonso at first base, that's not going to improve the defense. But Pete Alonso ranks one of the worst defensive players, and I love Pete Alonso. He's a very clutch hitter for the Mets this year and had a great season. But defensively, the Mets are hurting there at first base, and there could have been a couple of balls caught that could have saved the infield a little bit. And his range is not all there. But in saying that, we could save some money, pick up a few pitches. The Mets drastically need an ace. We just did not have that closer. We just did not have that closer in that could really stop losing streaks. We had numerous times where we had 5, 6, 7 game losing streaks, and that's not good. I mean, we had some winning streaks, but then you're followed by a 5 or 6 game losing streak. That's not good. But you have a couple of players that I really would love Edwin Diaz to come back there. If you look at the free agent market, Edwin Diaz is still one of the best closers in baseball. I really would love Edwin Diaz to come back. He's clearly one of the best relievers available in the free agent market. If we can get Brooks Raley back, I really like Brooks Raley on the left hand post there. He was a left-handed reliever for us for a number of years, and he suffered a Tommy John surgery. But when he did come back healthy, he did pitch well for us at the end of the year, so he did well. And I would love to have him back. And we're going to have Drew Smith back, hopefully, I think. It should be an easy pickup. He has the Mets have a club option for him, and so is Raley. I mean, we're looking at what, $2 million for Drew Smith. We should be able to pick that up. Brooks Raley for about 4.8 million pick up there on a club option. I think we should be able to do that. But we really need to improve the bullpen as well on the market. So we'll see what's out there in the market. I mean, there's been talks of having Schwarber or whatever, but Schwarber, I don't know how he's going to fit in the lineup when if you need to DH Soto or any other player for the Mets, it's going to be tough. I mean, if you want to improve the defense, I mean, there's been talks of having Soto go on to first base, but would he do that? And maybe down the line he would. And Soto, I think, is still a great hitter. He should be able to man that field out in the outfield. He's not the best defender, but he's still got a decent arm out there. And we'll see if he can play a couple more years. But definitely Soto could be a candidate for DH and give him some rest with his legs. But yeah, we need to improve our pitching. That's one of the biggest things. Improve our pitching. Hopefully the rookies, Beatty and Alvarez and Mauricio and some other ones that are coming up, hopefully they improve their play. Beatty looks sharp at second and third, improving his defensive capabilities there, and he's definitely looks like he's hopeful there for the Mets. Turning to the Yankees, we have approximately about 11 free agents, probably close to 11 free agents. We have only 2 guys with a club option for the Yankees. That's Jonathan Loaizaga. Club option is $5 million. I don't know if the Yankees will pick that up. Tim Hill, a veteran, his club option is about $3 million. I don't know if the Yankees will pick him up either. I'm not sure of that. But everybody else, Corey Bellinger, Goldschmidt, Devin Williams, Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham had a great season for the Yankees, slugging it out. He did help a little bit, and his defense in center field was pretty good in center field. But then the other ones you have, Ryan Yarbrough, Ahmed Rosario was a late pickup in September or whatever in a trade, or sometime in the summer was a trade there for them. Ahmed Rosario, and then Luke Weaver, and then Austin Slater. So for the Yankees, in my opinion, Cody Bellinger would probably be one of the guys that you probably need to bring back. He was clutch at many times. He did help that lineup. Because we have Aaron Judge, and then Paul Goldschmidt, believe it or not, the veteran there, first base veteran, played a decent first base. At 37, 38 years old, Goldschmidt still can hit a little bit, and he had a very big first half. He kind of slowed down in the second half a little bit, but overall, I give Paul Goldschmidt a B plus. As far as if you're going to grade him in school, right? He did well. I mean, he held the lineup together. At times, the Yankees needed a clutch hit. He did deliver. But Cody Bellinger is the only player, I believe, in this free agency market that the Yankees should bring back. It's going to be very competitive because other teams are going to look at him. To include the Mets, to include the Cubs, to include other teams. I mean, that Seattle and others who are looking for a left-handed center fielder who could still play center field. Cody Bellinger also plays first base, and he could DH at times. So he's Cody Bellinger is a jack of all trades, former MVP. Cody Bellinger is going to be a hot ticket for the free agency.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you, Tony.
Okay, great.
I was just giving a rundown a little bit for the fans out there. The free agency for the Mets and the Yankees. And made the rundown for the team, the score, and Toronto beat once again the Dodgers lost against Toronto 11-4.
Hey, what do you think the Dodgers should do to win Game 2? Because Game 2 is going to be probably some of the same coming up, even though there's going to be some pitching changes, but it might even be a little worse.
I would say. And looking at right now, looking at the pitching matchup. Let's see who's pitching, who's scheduled for pitching tomorrow for the Dodgers. Do you know who that is, Tony, by any chance? Let me see. Let me see. I believe. Let me see, because I know that they had Blake Snell pitching first, and let's see the schedule here. But I think it's much of the same. Dodgers, they need to repeat what they did in the National League. Okay, the Dodgers starting pitching has to cook, man. It cannot be like today. It's got to be the starting pitching. When the Dodgers win games, it's with the starting pitching. They win it with the starting pitching, and if you cannot, if you can't do that, that's just the situation right there for the Dodgers. It looks like it's going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who has been clutch in the playoffs against Kevin Gausman, right-handed pitcher for Toronto. Now, Toronto, Kevin Gausman is a veteran who's been with Toronto for a number of years. He's been clutch, man, with Toronto at some heavy games. So that'll be a great matchup. Yoshinobu had a complete game, and he has to be Yoshinobu, what he's been doing all season. He needs to go deep in the game, 7, 8, 9 innings. That's the way the Dodgers going to win this game. It starts with Yoshinobu going further past 6 innings in order for the Dodgers to win this game. And by the way, Yoshinobu does not walk a lot of folks, and that's what he has not been doing in the playoffs. If Yoshinobu doesn't walk anybody, which which is what Toronto likes to do. They like to walk, they like to get on base, they like to give you pressure. If Yoshinobu can control the base pass, then the Dodgers will win this game. But if Yoshinobu doesn't have control of the pitches and starts walking Toronto players, then we're in for another day for the Toronto. Kevin Gausman, same thing. Kevin Gausman needs to continue to keep throwing his fastball, continue throwing his changeups, and striking out folks, and keep the Dodgers off the base pass. So pretty much the same. Toronto's key game is similar to today. Get walks, get on base, pressure the pitchers, and then get to the Dodgers bullpen. The weakness seems to be the Dodgers bullpen, and Toronto knows that, and that's what they want to do. What do you think, Tony?
That's exactly how I would put it. The Dodgers need to pick up their pace, try to score early like they did today, but maintain the lead if they can get two to 5 runs ahead of time before the Toronto comes up with what they did today.
Right.
If it happens again, they're playing in Toronto, so they have the Toronto has the home field advantage. They got the bottom of the ninth to clean up any mistakes they've made. So it's imperative, like you said in the past, that you score enough runs to make sure that there's no question who's going to win the game, like Toronto did today. 11 runs, and most of them happened in the 7th inning.
Yeah, it was mainly the damage was done pretty much. It was done in the 6th inning. The 6th inning was it, and that's pretty typical of Toronto. Toronto does their damage in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. That's what they do. This is Toronto. This is what they do, man. They do damage. They score in bunches. That's what they do.
On that note, we will be back here tomorrow night at the same time to give you your post-game analysis by the great Professor G. Professor G. And
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on your show, man. You normally cover boxing and some other sports, and Tony, we have discussed baseball ad nauseum many times over the years, and I'm really appreciative of having me on your podcast, man. I really appreciate you having me in your podcast. Pretty appreciate that.
Appreciate you too. Do you want to give a rundown of the Knicks game real quick?
I'm hearing again that through the people here in the chat that they can't hear you. But anyway, I'm going to give a quick rundown. So the Knicks, for those who are, those who were watching the game and the Knicks fans out there. So the Knicks beat the Celtics 105-95, and we expect I expect the Knicks to take the division, the Eastern Conference there, as well as the division. I foresee that this will be one of the better years for the Knicks, and I'm not predicting the Knicks are going to win it all. But I foresee that the Knicks are going to have with the talent they have, Jalen Brunson, and and they did some additions. Jordan Clarkson, they re-signed Mikal Bridges on an extension. I really believe that this team has what it takes to win. OG Odinobi and Josh Hart, defensively speaking. We got Mitchell Robinson, hopefully for the entire year. If Mitchell Robinson can stay healthy and play that center like we expect them to, blocking shots and all that, I really feel that the Knicks have a shot. I mean, because you have enough scoring punch with Jalen Brunson, with Mikal Bridges. You should be able to beat the majority of the teams out there in the East, and then Carl Anthony, what can you say about Cat, right? Carl Anthony Towns running the center point there, and he's going to do his scoring. So scoring wise, I think the Knicks are going to be fine. The things that the Knicks struggle a little bit is defensively. When we had the offensive players out there defensively, we struggle a little bit. But yeah, we have Josh Hart, who's a defensive standout. We have Odunobi. We have Mitchell. We have also you can't place a value on a guy that comes off the bench, Miles McBride. I mean, that guy's a little fire plug coming off the bench, and we're hoping that he can really provide the same offensive spurt and defensively too. He's been very good defensively at guard. So I'm hoping the Knicks to have a good season this year. What do you think, Tony?
Hey, I hope the Knicks can do it this year. Hopefully, we get to cover them as the season goes on. Hey, can you do me a favor and apologize for the audio for those who can't hear me? And
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
for tomorrow.
yeah. Fans, Tony will be back tomorrow, and we'll do a rundown again of the game 2 of the World Series. We apologize for the audio visual, the audio effect. We'll try to hit you up tomorrow. So, Tony, anything else for the fans out there you want me to translate?
Hey, no, thank you for the privilege of your time, Gonzo, and thank you for the privilege of your time to the viewers and everybody who came out today. We'll have game 2 tomorrow. We will cover that in depth of the way we did today. So please tune in tomorrow. Thank you for the privilege of your time, and until tomorrow, remember to keep your hands up, chin tucked, and eyes open, and protect yourself at all times, baby.
Yeah, so we're going to close up shop. And again, for the viewers out there and the viewers who are going to see it later on because of the Eastern Standard Time, thank you so much for having us. Tony, thanks. We are very appreciative of having you reach out to us here in the podcast and seeing our podcast. Give us a thumbs up and a like, and I'll try to see if I become a guest again. And the privilege of having here, being a podcast member here with Tony, I'm very privileged to be here and thankful to be here to be able to do this live on the podcast. Thank you, Tony.
Hey, good night, guys.
Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone. Have a safe one. God bless.